Welcome, audiophile and cinephiles alike, to the Beneflicks podcast, the show where we are reaping the Beneflicks one movie at a time. I'm Liz.
I'm Tyson.
We're not doing this again. We're not doing. As I'm recording this, I'm deep editing the episode last week we recorded, and it's 12 in the morning. It is almost 1:30 in the morning, and we're like, let's hope to not make this a trend, and here we go. So I guess that kind of is the you're rubbing your belly.
Sorry.
How are you, man?
I'm good. It's late. I'm not too tired. We had a
Me
very
neither.
adventurous day. Saw some movies.
Hmm.
Neither of which will be talked about today, but maybe in the future we'll see.
I
But
agree.
yeah, good day.
I agree. Definitely a great day. These episodes are kind of transpiring when we decide to hang out and make the most of our days. So sometimes we'll just be going to see a movie theatrically in theaters somewhere, locally or in LA, and then we record when we come home. I really was under the impression that we were gonna come home and you're gonna be like, actually, let's just plan to record it a different day. But we're doing it, and I'm actually happy that we are, because today, my friends, we are not discussing our favorite movies of 2025. We did that in an episode by the time this releases previously. We are in fact talking about the sort of catalyst for why I wanted to make this podcast as quickly as I did. And I was like, we need to do this because today we are talking about our favorite scenes from movies that were released in 2025.
Woo!
I'm very, very excited because I know when we have seen certain movies after a while, we know what our favorites from each year kind of are going to culminate into, partially because I look at your letterbox, you look at my letterbox, but we never create, and there really isn't a way to create it on letterbox, favorite scenes from movies. And so I've really, really wanted to do this as an episode for a long time because I know the beauty of it isn't like you're taking the film at a complete package. In fact, you're taking a piece of it. So it can be a mediocre film with an incredible scene, or a good movie with a terrific scene, or maybe, as we may find later in this episode, a bad movie whose scene is pretty great, but its greatness shines brighter because of how bad the movie may be.
Yeah, and the age-old question of is said scene actually as good as we claim it to be, or is it rather a gold nugget, while you're searching for through like regular rocks, right?
Sure,
It
sure.
does it shine more brightly because of the dullness around it?
Hmm. Hmm. I think before we get into this though, friends, of course, please, as always, email us in at beneflixpod@gmail.com for your thoughts on the episode or just in general, your favorite movies from 2025, your favorite scenes from movies in 2025. Because as we are going to denote in however long this episode is going to take, there is a lot and a lot of range here. And I think we need to set some ground rules first. So I think before anything, I would like to talk about some of the films that I excluded off of principle. And I think our principles may change depending on the movies that we excluded intentionally. After that, I kind of want you to describe this wonderful little treasure trove you gave as an idea. A fun thing that we are going to go back and forth with as we talk about our favorite scenes from the year, because I think it's going to really spice things up. I'm being a bit vague because we will get into that, and then we'll just dive in. I think we kind of discern, funny enough, we coincidentally, through just pure luck, found out that we have around the same amount of like scene number wise that we came up with. And there's no way I came up with nearly 40, just about. And if we were doing it top 40, this would be 5 hours long.
Yeah, too long.
So I think we kind of came up with the comfortable medium of five honorable mentions, starting from 20 to 16. And then from 15 on, we just go back and forth until we get to number one. Now, with that being said, my friends, I'm going to talk about a couple of the films that I've excluded. And of course, this goes without saying, this fucking video is going to, or this episode is going to be so spoiler ridden. So please, 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 we will tell you the movie before we start talking about the scene, but it goes without saying, this is going to be a spoiler heavy video. So, I will say the first film that I excluded was the whole reason why I created that category in the first place. I am not going to be including the first 25 minutes of Shelby Oaks. That was, to me, I feel a bit unfair to categorize as a scene, but a part of a movie. And that falls exactly into the camp of a scene or a part of a movie that is so great, but it's also because the movie around it just isn't hitting nearly as much. And I love it. I think it is an incredible open and a film that then transitions into what the film stylistically becomes, but I'm not going to include that. The next thing after that is, and this kind of falls within several different movies, but I wanted to say specifically, I'm not including a single scene from Better Man. I'm saying that because
What?
that shit is an acid trip companion piece where like the I because and I bring this up specifically because we describe any scene to each other. I'm like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But with it on its own, I don't think it works because the whole film needs to exist. And then the scene's just like it basically dive bombs into insanity.
Sure, sure. I guess with that being said, I kind of want to take this to the side for a second because I guess a lot of people are asking, how do you determine our
Mhm,
favorite scenes
mhm.
of a movie and whatnot? Because I mean, a movie is a sum of its parts,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
by proxy, like if you have a phenomenal scene, how phenomenal of a scene is it if it like it stands out significantly compared to the entirety of the film?
Mhm,
And we'll get into, like you said previously, a couple of scenes that probably are a highlight in an otherwise dull experience in terms of a movie.
mhm, mhm.
And other examples where we love the movie to death, but there's just a couple ones that hit us a couple
Yeah,
or hit us a bit more, to our core.
yeah.
Um, but that being said, I think what makes a great scene is very much oriented in the fact of memorability. I think what these kind of boil down to is,
Uh-huh.
at least mine, obviously you can take this from me at any point, but for me,
Mhm,
a lot of my criteria was what made, these things memorable. And obviously I'll specify
mhm,
why they're memorable to me. Um, but yes, as we are both, Liz and I are both aware,
mhm.
it very much is these scenes are in summation of all of its parts.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we just wanted to highlight a couple of, special moments that we think back to a lot because
I agree.
I think that a great scene can influence you to return back to a great project as a whole.
100%. And I will be a bit hypocritical throughout this video because there's going to be different definitions of a scene. There could be a moment, a slight exchange that is a part of a scene that I'm choosing, or it could be a little bit longer. But like something like Shelby Oaks, I'm not going to include. Better Man, and I would also say into that same vein, Sentimental Value, I wish I could include, and I wanted to bring it up because I think that movie is terrific, but there is no real one scene specific that steals the show for me, but it's like a river rapid that, like, you go on and you have to traverse the entirety of. Um, you had brought up the concept or rule that we are excluding endings, and I could not actually agree more, but that made me axe 3 films specifically. So I cannot be able to do the ending to Marty Supreme. I wasn't allowed to do the ending, or I'm choosing. It's not like I'm a kid being upheld to this. The ending of Frankenstein, and then I wasn't also choosing the ending to Tinsman Road because it's that final line that just like hits me.
Mm.
Then last but not least, and I wanted to save this specifically to the very end, this is complete hogwash to you. I really, 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 like, so desperately wanted to choose Pedro Pascal's segment in Freaky Tales because I think it is exceptionally done, but unfortunately, that is, like, a total of 30 minutes, and it's scattershot throughout the movie at different parts. If you've seen the movie, you know that it has a divulging sort of narrative, and he intersects at different parts, so I could not include that. Other than that, though, I from that point had about like 39 scenes, whittled it down to exactly 37, and what we will go on will be my list. What were some of your exclusions that you had?
Yeah, quick question for you.
Yeah,
The movies that you excluded that you listed,
yeah,
I assume because you excluded them, they will not be in the video going forward on your end.
incorrect.
Okay, so
Y-
okay,
so like I'll tell you
sh-
this. I'll tell you this. There's no Marty Supreme. Like that was the one bit that I wanted to choose. from Marty Supreme,
Okay,
but I
but
just
it's ju
didn't.
there's a specific okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's just, yeah, not including the
Okay,
endings.
then my difference from you then is if I'm excluding it, it's excluded entirely because how I went about it was
Wow.
when I was deciding the scenes I wanted to include from the movies, I chose essentially my favorite scenes, even if I knew that it was probably going to get excluded because it was too long or because it
Okay.
was like the ending, for example.
Sure.
But just because I knew it was gonna be excluded didn't mean that I then pivoted to a different scene. Um, my
Interesting.
logic was essentially I'm gonna pick my favorites and then just basically go and see if they fit in the guidelines. If they don't fit in the guidelines, they get erased, and then rank the ones that still are able to be.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is I'm gonna get a couple endings out of the way,
Yeah, go for it.
because there are a couple that are endings. Um, the
Mhm.
first one being, the ending to Woman in the Yard. I say that to
Okay.
say, phenomenal ending, very bleak ending,
Okay.
but that movie will not be included on my list, going
Sure.
forward just because
Sure.
I consider that to be the best part of the film.
Mhm.
Um, Same thing goes for the ending of It Was Just an Accident, another memorable, ending that has
Mhm.
stuck into my mind since I've seen the film, but beyond that, I will not be talking about it. Um, and this one's gonna be kinda crazy for some people. The ending to Begonia, the last 5 minutes, such
Yeah.
a devastating, heart-wrenching scene that I
Sure.
can't get into more of, but Begonia will not be on my list as well because that
I
was
get
my
down with
favorite
that.
scene.
I get down with that.
The only other exclusions that weren't endings that I will talk about was I wanted to include the submarine sequence in Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Okay.
The reason I did not do that was because the sequence is much too long. It's not a scene, it's like I said, a sequence,
Sure.
is much too long, so I didn't include it, but that is a phenomenal sequence.
Okay.
And then lastly, and this doesn't mean much to you because you didn't see the movie, but at the end of the film Good Boy, the indie horror film this year, after the
Oh,
credits,
wow. I know what
yeah,
you're referring to, yeah.
yeah, there's a making of segment, which I think is really brilliant, really cute, and
Mhm.
honestly better than the entire movie.
Fire.
It's not very long, but I thought it didn't really make sense for this list because it's not really a scene. It's kind of detached from the film. It's more of like a video.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, beyond that, everything else is kind of in the parameters for this list. So those are all my exclusions.
Fuck yeah. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Okay. So, I will start. Um,
We'll pause real quick. Do you want me to go over the?
oh my fucking god, yes, please.
Okay.
The seasoning to the chicken
The
here.
seasoning to the chicken, we will be doing a pseudo draft, a bit of an unorthodox method of it.
You got it.
Um, Essentially, what we're doing is, oh, excuse me, how we'll be going about it
Mhm.
is we each have 5 slots of a draft. So our starting five essentially. And basically, how it's going to be working is we're going to go down our list. And
Mhm.
when we talk about a scene from a movie,
Mhm.
we're allowed to claim it as one of the 5 spots for our draft. You can do it about your favorite scene of the year. You can do it about your 15th favorite scene of the year. It doesn't matter which orders. You can just claim it
Yeah.
as your own, and that scene will then be a part of your starting five. Going forward past that point,
Mhm.
once you claim a scene from a movie, that movie can no longer be used by the other person, which means, for example, since we brought up Mario Supreme,
Yeah.
let's say you claimed a scene from Mario Supreme at your number 15. And let's say I had a scene from Mario Supreme, a separate one, or even the same one, that was at my number 3. Because you claimed that scene from Mario Supreme before me, I can no longer include that movie in
Yeah.
my draft.
Fuck you, I'm taking that.
Um, so the whole, I guess, fun of it is deciding what movies to claim and when to claim them. Because
Mhm.
obviously, best case scenario is you claim your top 5 scenes that you've chosen as your starting 5, like those 5 that you've chosen
Yeah, big
separate.
time.
But obviously, there's some strategy where if those scenes are existent within my, later in my list or earlier in my list rather, and I claim them before you, you cannot, claim them. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a competitive edge to it. The one exception to this rule is we're not or sorry, 2 exceptions. First being no honorable mentions, and
Mhm.
the second being um, we are not allowed to claim from a movie that the other person has not seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to make it a bit more fair, a bit more interesting, because it wouldn't make sense for
No,
me to
literally.
claim a
I'd
film.
be, like, standing like that gif of John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, where he's, like, holding his jacket and he's, like, looking around the room like,
No, legitimately, like,
what
you
the fuck am okay,
yeah,
go for
sure.
it." I love that idea. I love it. I think it's gonna be fun, and because of that, like, you had called me less than 24 hours ago bringing up that idea, and I made sure to not look at my list to be like, "Okay, these are the ones that I'm looking to pick."
Oh, me neither.
Um, so it's gonna be like spur of the moment, grab it while we can. It's Black Friday, and I'm slugging some motherfuckers for it, you know? I
100%.
want that TV. So, my friends, I think I'm just gonna start. Go ahead. My 20 to 16. I let me look at this real quick because I'm trying to see if yeah, okay. I don't I don't even know if any of these you're gonna get mad at me for one because I think it's gonna sound to you like I'm breaking one of the rules, but I'm not. Okay? Hear
Okay,
me out.
I'll listen.
At number 20, obviously spoilers, I have a scene from Sinners, and it is specifically the one where Michael B. Jordan is seeing Annie, and it is him trying to roll the cigarette. And it is an unbelievably staged, blocked, composed, both visually and lyrically scene that I quite frankly cannot get enough of. Just I do think there's more scenes that are a bit better. At number 19, I have basically the entire run through of the Hamlet play in Grand Theft Hamlet. But that technically doesn't that isn't the end of the movie though, because they do it and then there's a couple bits after it. And the bit itself is like 10 minutes. So again, if you think that's a bit too long,
You're fucking stupid. Whatever, go on.
uh,
That's not a scene.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. And that wasn't even the one that I thought you'd get mad at me for. At number 18, I have particularly, and if you really want me to whittle it down, the few lines of dialogue as it's from Wake Up Dead Man that Josh O'Connor has with Glenn Close telling her that she has to have grace. And again, if you think that's too long, okay, that isn't the end of the movie, and I would only take the
No,
exchange back and forth.
that's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
okay. At 17, and I really do wish I had this higher because it is quite literally, if there was an image, it would be the image of the guy sitting back in his seat, then sitting up. It is the sort of taped documentation of the flashback that oh my god, I'm already spacing on his name. Taggart Mora, the
Wagner Moore.
Thank you. Wagner Mora has in The Secret Agent. I think that scene where then it flashes back to him at the restaurant with his partner as the guy that the government guy is kind of being a very big misogynist.
Sure,
I think that scene's exceptional. And it's like the scene that like woke me up out of a 5 film binge that we started at 5 a.m.
sure.
I think that's fantastic. At 16, another scene from the movie, a movie that I wish so deeply, and I actually thought going in was going to be a lot higher. It is the scene when Regina Hall walks into the bathroom or appears in the frame in the bathroom talking to Willa.
Mm.
I think to me that's like that's gangbusters. And funny enough, I'm double checking. That's the highest that one battle after another goes for me on this list. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, do you have multiple scenes from movies?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The-
okay, so we're way off, I
no,
guess.
well, that wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna do that to be arbitrary to you. It is quite literally. I you're gonna be looking at me at certain bits in this video, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with
Do you
you?"
have multiple scenes from one movie in your top 15? Or are they all from a different movie?
There's a couple.
Okay, we are just off the fucking deep end. Okay, I mean, I'm glad I knew that because I was really shocked by some of your choices for your honorable mentions. But
Sure. But like, mind you, this was a list. It would be a lot smaller, and if I can only pick one, and I think through explanation you'll understand it a bit more. I don't think this video would work. And I'll
okay,
elaborate for that when it comes down to it.
okay,
But that is my 20 to 16.
okay,
I know you talk about like the Grand Theft Hamlet bit being longer, but I think it's funny enough. Like I think the preparation in the movie of them trying to get that play done is so long, and then when the play actually happens, it's a lot shorter.
sure. But I wouldn't consider like there's multiple like cuts and different moments of them
I
go
guess the
trying
way
to
that I
play.
see it is it's like to me played out as like a scene because like the movie's point isn't like the play itself, but like it's not the friends that you make at the end of the day, but the journey you had along the way sort
Sure,
of thing?
I guess in the very, like, he said, she said, I would just say it's more of a
Okay.
sequence, but
Okay.
rest assured, Grand Theft Hamlet's not go touching my fucking
Fuck.
not touching my fucking shit,
All
so
right. Let it loose.
so I will preface then, I guess, because there's a bit of a discrepancy. Everything I mentioned is only mentioned once. I picked only one scene from each movie.
Okay.
I just thought it'd be a bit more interesting from my angle that way, include some different selection, more variety and whatnot. Um, the one part I will be cheating off with is
Please do.
I have a little bit more honorable mentions. Not to because I think they're necessary, but just I don't want to pick favorites with these scenes that all deserve a little bit of praise.
Okay.
Um, in no particular order for my honorable mentions, I have in FNAF 2, the Shadow Bonnie
You're
jump
not
scare.
real. You're not real.
I think that moment is so baller, and as someone who paid so much attention to the lore,
You're
I tweaked out in the theater.
How are you playing me right now?
Um, in
That
the another honorable mention, I have The Conjuring Last Rites, the late night TV,
I that would go sorry, go ahead.
the VHS sequence where it's like the horror scene and she sees the guy in the background while she's watching the VHS tape.
That was number 26 for me.
That's funny, yeah. Um, I have the first dream sequence in the Black Phone 2. Sets the tone for that movie really well. I
Wow.
love the score to it. Yeah, it's
Wow.
very visually interesting. I really like the way it sets the tone for that movie.
Okay.
I do have in Friendship the Lick the Toad sequence. I don't know if that's too long, but I wanted to mention anyways. That movie
Dude,
scene is
I'm not
so
gonna get on
fucking
you. Go for
funny.
it. Go for it.
What does he say? Fuck, what does he say? That's a lot.
That
He licks a lot. That was a
lick
big
a
lick.
lot.
He
That was
said
a
big
big
lick,
lick.
big lick. Yeah, that's a really funny moment. I have The Life of Chuck, the talk he has with David Dastmalchian in the classroom. Such a sad little bit. I know that there's a scene that you'll include that we've talked about a couple months back, but love that sequence in that movie. Um, and then one that you might not remember. I don't know if you're gonna have this movie in this sequence.
Oh no.
Do you remember in the Phoenician scheme, the Let's Communicate?
No.
Oh
Oh
my god,
no.
I might pause the
Eh,
fucking remind me please at the end of this to remind you. Essentially, maybe if I can jog your memory,
Okay.
it's right after his fight with Benedict Cumberbatch, and he's standing on the tower with a grenade, and he goes up and he almost
Is that what the
telepathically
images that
yes, he goes,
flash?
"Let's communicate," and it flashes the
Oh.
images.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
because actually, funny enough, I wanted to include the ending to the Phoenician scheme as an
Yeah.
exclusion, and then I was like, "Wait, no, I'm missing something," and then I
Yeah.
went back and I was like, "No, that's the moment."
That's crazy. That
Um,
great pull. Great pull.
and then the last honorable mention I have, and it's a bit longer, but I do consider it a scene, is The Long Walk, where basically it's the guy who's in third place. I forgot his name in the movie, but
Mhm.
he's basically gives the reveal that Mark Hamill's his father and how I don't
That
know.
is pretty long, but I revel in it. Go.
There is I think that actor, who I'm unfamiliar with his name right now, but the actor
Mhm.
who plays that character, the more jock kind of predicted to win character,
Mhm.
is so phenomenal in that scene. It's so heart-wrenching. I think that movie is so underrated. We preached it in our last episode, and I'll preach it again. And
Mhm.
that specific sequence is just it's what makes that movie work so well for me.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the actor Garrett Waring. He played Stebbins.
Stebbins,
Yeah.
yes. I think that sequence is so heart-wrenching, and that kid sells it so well. I fucking love that moment.
Hey, take as long again, like, funny enough, see, and I think, like, we're different, and I'm glad ultimately, I'm kinda glad because it's, like, our thought processes are very different with these. Like, you talk about, like, Final Reckoning, that was my number 35,
Mm,
but, like, again, the explanation rationale I have is, like, I think a lot of that movie does not work. That first
yeah.
hour does not work, but that bit and I think it's, like, also you kinda have to see what mold or the clays that are used for these films because, like, that franchise is built off of sequences, you know?
Yeah,
So it's like I get what you mean, but it's like every movie's different, so I'm gonna be treating it accordingly, so
very much so.
now that we found some common ground, let's get crazy. I don't think we're gonna get you blew your load with the Shadow Bonnie thing. That's the craziest shit. You could not have paid me. At number 15, I have the black bag dinner scene. I'm so and to me, what you guys don't know, fellas, is this was by far and large the hardest video I have had to like prepare for. I sat in my note document for 2 hours as I was like, "There's no way this is dropping." There's no like, you remember in Diary of a Wimpy Kid when he tries to rate himself on, like, the cool meter and he drops to, like,
Sure.
197?
Sure.
That's the shit that was happening with me in this. That scene, unfortunately, like, even present day, there have been bits in movies like today, we just saw Sarai and the title card dropping, "You got a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs."
Yeah, I went cuckoo.
But I don't think I've ever seen a seat grab you like Catherine Keener says when she says "sink," and Daniel Kaluuya
Okay.
sinks him into the seat like the dinner bit in the midst of it happening. Just a beautiful symmetry of a screenplay that is so sharp it cuts my skin, the lighting in that film, the editing, Steven Soderbergh, the fact that he edits and shoots his own shit, I think is the greatest blessing to the world. Um, and it's really, really funny because I put Presence above it. I'm gonna stop spoiling things. Presence isn't even on this. Um,
Mm,
and I think, like, that is to me why there's like, duplications from the same movies, because this list would be very, very boring to a point where, like, I joked with you, but, like, if I played it, like, only 1 scene per movie, the Den of Thieves car chase would be in this list.
Jesus
And
Christ.
that I know. But that scene is a scene I think about how in terms of how we watched it, how we ingested it, it is just an unbelievable scene where a lot of actors that I hadn't really ever been aware of are just absolutely beaming, and their characters are so fascinating, and you learn from them because it opens the movie, like, within the first, like, 25 minutes because correct me if I'm wrong, but before that, it's them getting ready for this dinner,
Yeah.
and it's, like, them meeting at a bar and getting ready to leave to go to the Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett's house, and you can kinda tell that, like, there is this history that they have with them, but it tees it up in a way where it doesn't even feel like they're very excited for it, but they're intrigued, and that curiosity leads you into that scene, and then it becomes this whole, like, psychoanalyzation, like, they're holding guns at each other figuratively below the table. I could watch it every single day. So good.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal stuff.
What other FNAF 2 scene do you have, Buster?
Okay.
Oh, no.
I actually missed an honorable mention,
Okay, go for it.
but I'm actually not gonna mention it because 'cause I'm pretty sure it's on your list.
Uh,
And I'll tell you what it is when it comes up. If it's not, I'll
okay,
whatever.
chat remind us.
Okay. Number 15, I'm gonna claim this as in my starting
Oh
5
my god.
just to piss you off. And I'm not just doing this to spite you, but I'm gonna claim it to piss you off because that is to spite you. I'm taking the sandwich scene from Sorry Baby.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait, wait, wait.
Yeah, well, okay.
I
I thought you were
think,
gonna be more mean with
um,
that.
for a movie that I wish I was a bit more in love with because of all the accolades it's getting and how much I can respect, Ava Victor's vision and their patience
Mhm.
and their good heart. They've expressed a lot
Yeah.
of outspoken outrage for certain things in press interviews and red carpet things. And I
Mhm.
really like the character behind that and who they are as a person. And I think they made a very vulnerable piece of art. I just personally don't connect with it that much.
Mhm.
However, I do think the scene where she's breaking down and she stops in front of
John Carroll Lynch.
John Carroll Lynch's sandwich shop, and he tells her to breathe and to calm down. They share a sandwich.
Yeah.
Just such a quiet and simple, and it's such an easy one that would work for me. A character that's kind of more of like in a sense, like a father figure of some sort, and giving wise advice, and
Yeah.
just kind of he doesn't fully understand everything, but his advice is so universal and honest
Yeah.
that it just kind of works. And the performances are so warm and just understanding. It's just a
Mhm.
very patient and lovable scene that
Great
for a movie
choice.
that I wish I loved more, that scene especially has always stuck out to me as, okay, like, this is the strong part of this movie, and a plethora of other scenes. There are other scenes in that film that I actually gravitate a lot towards, but that
Yeah.
scene specifically, I think I'm in love with for
I do
sure.
I do think maybe one day we'll rewatch it. I don't for some reason, I don't know why A24 hasn't announced a physical release of that movie, like, that actually is so baffling to me, because they give, like, Josh or Benny Safdie the smashing move. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Um, okay, so again, we went at this very differently, so I'm already gonna be repeating a movie here. Sorry, but I have to. Not a claim yet, don't worry. At number 14, actually, I think you're gonna get even more mad at me because I'm theoretically breaking 2 rules here. But before you react, take a deep breath in, John Carroll Lynch to your Eva Victor. At number 14, Oh my god, I'm getting lightheaded. I have the n I'm getting so scared because I know you I have to turn my back. I have to turn my back. At number 14, I have the Sammy and present day scene at the very end of Sinners. Now, you said no ending parts of the movie. Now, walk with me for a second because the way that it is structured is the entire reason why I'm including it.
The end credit sequence?
Yes.
Oh, no, I wanna kill you're fine, you're fine, you're
Okay.
fine. Wait, why are you breaking 2 rules? Oh, because it's a second scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm including that scene because and a lot of people, funny enough, I've read don't like the way that it is put into the film.
Okay.
I think it is brilliant.
Okay.
I think in terms of representing the time that has passed between the events that happened at the end of Sinners to then, including the credits, and have that be like a pseudo metaphor for like Ryan Coogler's own team that helped make this movie, and then have that scene be included, I think is just fucking brilliant. And on top of that,
Mm.
it's he and I wish I had the line in my head, but he's like, for a moment while the sun was out, or right before the sun went down, like we were free. I think it's exceptional. It had, and then it like cuts to the 70 millimeter shot. If you saw it in 70 millimeter of them overlooking the sunset, it is just, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. It is
Mm.
something that like on a conceptual level, a veteran of their craft would create. And the fact that I don't know his name, and I think a lot of music heads are going to get on me, that is performed by an actual real life jazz musician that
Oh,
is so deeply revered in the realm of blues. It just is like this unreal, exceptional piece of filmmaking that I think without it, honestly, it has the inverse of the Sorry Baby thing, where it's like without the ending, you would have loved that movie a lot more. Without that ending, I would not be beaming on that movie as much as I do.
interesting.
Love that scene to death, and I would feel so remiss if I didn't include it.
I'm glad.
Okay.
An end credit sequence, I can tell you I don't have one of those for
Woo.
sure. Um, Number 14, not a claim because, it's not even gonna be fucking a thought in your brain. I am gonna do the first musical number in The Testament of Anley. I do think
Okay.
that sequence is pretty terrifically directed. I think it sounds great. I love the melody behind it. It's very catchy.
Okay.
Na, 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 na. Yeah,
That was good. That was
something
good.
like that.
That was real good.
Yeah, I mean, I just love it. I mean, when that movie works best for me is when it's in those musical numbers and when it's just so well shot and
Mhm.
directed and just choreographed. I think that sequence just looks great. I
Mhm.
love the way it's paced. I love the way it kind of just drops into
Mhm.
a slow progression of, okay, like, they're kinda doing something, then it formulates into this
Yeah.
full grandiose thing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't wanna say too much about it because I mean, there's no real contention here. You disagree, and I live in the merits, so
Well, sure. It's not that like I would agree with you. That's an exceptional scene. It's just unfortunate that there's a whole movie that follows after
I
that,
forgot
and
about
there's
that
like
part.
a musical number was like, "I'm following my nose and my finger." Like, shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I again, nothing but love to that director, but man, I did not.
Mona
Mona Flop. I don't fucking know.
Flop.
Mhm. So, um, at my number 13, it's unfortunate because I actually really did want to claim it, but I can't now. I have this scene in Sorry Baby that we have not discussed whatsoever, and I think it's the scene that quietly makes the entire film, and it's when she is at jury duty. And I
Good
think
scene.
that scene is, to me, the reason why the film ultimately works the way that it does. We were talking about it earlier today about how I feel so much of the film is this in the middle, numb feeling after the events of something so traumatic, and how there is no ever real emotional high or low, but the flat lined in the middle. And I think that sort of scene where it plays out as that this character is on a jury and they're selecting who would be the best candidate to be like followed into the actual jury part of the trial of whatever it is. They're interviewing her and she's slowly coming like she isn't like, no, I wouldn't be good for this jury, but she's like saying it so matter of factly, like like she's had these traumatic events that have happened in her life that exist, thus therefore making her a not good candidate to serve on this jury. And I think the way it is framed and that it is executed, and I think Emma Victor is so terrific in this fucking movie. and that scene, like, I saw it by myself. That was the scene that actually made me cry the most, because again, like, there is never any release that she has. She doesn't cry about it, but she just so matter of factly just says, "Okay." Like, they are being more reactive emotionally than she is as she is presenting the story to them, and she doesn't even go into depth about what happened to her. Um, just fucking a powerhouse level of respect and restraint. Jesus Christ, no, I love the shit out of that.
That is a great scene, I cannot deny it. A lot of great scenes in that movie for sure. Um, my 13, I'm actually kind of annoyed, not for any, like, specific reason, just it's the dinner scene from Black Bag.
Oh.
Yeah, the same one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to be fair, there's, like, 3 different scenes in that movie that can probably make this list. I think just for me, like you said, like, I have not been that explosive in a theater in a very
Mhm,
long time. Up until that point, I feel
mhm.
like that movie was what? We saw that in March, correct?
I low-key even wanna say February.
One of the 2, but, for anyone who's unaware, very bad time in my life last year, and I feel like I was
Mhm.
very much missing that theatrical electricity during that
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and that very much was a reminder, like, "Hey, like, this still exists, and I'm still in love with this stuff." So,
Hell yeah.
I don't have much to say about it. It's terrific, everything you said. I love the fact that it looks overexposed as fuck, but
Oh
you have
my
a word
god.
for it. What's the word?
The halation of the lights.
Halation of the Lights is
Mhm,
fucking genius.
mhm.
And I mean, shit, I'll use this time to talk about how much I love Black Bag and how much
Uh-huh, go for it.
please go watch Black Bag. I don't know why you wouldn't watch Black Bag. It's so short, it's so tight. It's just a quick little spy thriller that's so much fun. It's sexy. Everyone's so good in it. And I really cannot see any flaws in that movie. Like even if you believe that Presence is a better film than Black Bag,
I do.
do you have any personal flaws with Black Bag?
Not at all.
It's a phenomenal film. Everyone go watch it. I implore you and I encourage you, please, please, please.
Beautiful. Beautifully said, beautifully executed. At my number 12 is a film that I'm claiming, and you're gonna understand why I'm gonna claim it, and I don't give a shit. It is the Causeway scene in 28 Years Later. I unequivocally, like, pew, 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 pew. It's the craziest editing ever in a movie. You're looking at me like a sack of meat that you're hungry for.
Whatever, like I'm annoyed because it shouldn't whatever. I had a plan.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, I know, but don't worry. I think you'll be able to, as you can, claim some stuff soon. And I think you're gonna be very shocked about a movie that I'm not gonna claim. But anyway. A scene that it wasn't even the bit in the movie where I was like, "Oh my god, we are in for a ride," because they already had the iPhone rig when it came to the arrow shots. Um, but a bit in the movie that just like up until that point, I'd never in my life seen anything like that. Not even just visually, but if you look at it like through the edit, the way that like Danny Boyle for some reason holds on reaction shots, but in freeze frame form is the craziest thing. And he's done it before, but as was the case, and I've talked about this in our Sunshine episode, of working backwards and seeing that he's done that in most of his movies, but arguably it is his most frenetic in 28 Years Later. Greatest treat to behold. The tension, young father's score that plays is funny enough a lot more like ethereally angelic than it should be. Like, if I listen to the score that is played at that moment and then I watch, it's 2 entirely different things, but the combination of both is just fucking riveting.
It looks insane.
No, it does.
It look like visually, like fuck, I don't wanna talk about this motherfucker anymore because he always just suck his
No, we
dick.
do, we do.
But
Yeah, I
it
agree.
does
I
look
agree.
fucking like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
No, I don't either, and it's
Watching that in Screen X,
with the flicker of the left screen, Jesus. And, like, again, I don't get it, and I don't ever think he may ever get the credit, but, like, Aaron Taylor, like, even, like, the line is seared into my brain where he's like, "Get up!" And he picks him up, it's just so fucking good. So that is my claim.
and to add on to that, you're not even including the part where it's literally flash cutting between the dinner sequence that's happening inside,
Oh,
and it's like it's
yeah.
the whole thing where, like, what's like, are
Yeah.
they having the party without them? And then it cuts to them
Yeah.
there. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, he shot him
Yeah,
right in the head. Sorry, but that's my number 12 and the first film that I claim.
awesome. Number 12, I will not claim because I don't think it's gonna be on your thing, but it is the Final Destination X-ray machine scene.
Oh, yeah,
I
you know that it's not in there.
I do love that sequence in that scene so much. I think it's the summation of what works these movies work the best. I think it's gory. I think it's funny.
Mhm.
Essentially, the whole thing is one of the characters wants to kill themselves and bring them back to life to kind of reset the smile curse or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's, like, a plethora of ways they wanna do it. He's, like, allergic to peanut butter, they wanna feed him, like, a peanut butter candy bar, and there's, like, a defibrillator, but then it turns on this X-ray machine, and you
yeah,
have the magnetic aspect, and things start getting sucked in, and
yeah,
it's brutal, and it's fun, it's creative, and that movie is working best when it's a million different things colliding to make the perfect
yeah.
death happen,
Mhm,
and that is just a clear sign of one from just simple things like the vending machine doesn't work properly,
mhm.
and then the spring shoots out later and it
Sure.
kills the character, and it's so brutal and so mean, but also so much fun, with the Kieran Culkin lookalike,
Mhm.
and then the baby face.
Okay, so, like, you're counting that, and I'm just trying to put this here, right now. That is a long fucking scene, and I just want you to know that when I bring up something later, but I also when I wanna say that as well, because you talk about when it's doing a million things at once, and talk about, like, a really great, just, like, keen vision for what the movie is, it also is an inadvertently amazing send-off to Tony Todd.
Yeah,
And they like, that was before maybe they knew his diagnosis. Obviously, he looks kinda sickly in that bit, but, like, they didn't know that he was gonna die shortly thereafter, and he literally has his bat or box of stuff, and he walks out, and it's just a terrific send off, all the while this guy's nipple piercings are getting, like, thrown out of his skin.
yeah,
It is phenomenal. Like, it is probably the best that Final Destination is.
yeah.
Um,
It's just a memorable moment, and I think I'm a bit more funny. It's a crazy sentence, I'm a bit more warm on that movie than you are.
I would agree.
But, yeah, I don't think that that sequence overshadows the rest of the film too much, but I can acknowledge that is
Sure.
by far the best death in that
I
movie.
agree. It's a terrific the movie has a terrific opening. There's a lot of just wonderful stuff, like even the bit of, like, her getting crushed in the trash compactor. Um, love it. Love it, love it, love it. At my number 11, I'm not claiming this. Lord help me. I have the back and forth dialogue between Blanc and Judd in Wake Up Dead Man, their very first, to be exact. Um,
This I don't like how you operate.
but shut up. I'm not going to claim it, but I think it is the bit in the film that I sadly, I watched it without you. I was going that was actually a day that I didn't think I was actually gonna be able to come back to the home that I've been like, living in for the like, a whole my whole life, and I saw that, and I think on every single level, on the way that it's lit, the way that it's shot, and the way that the camera moves and swivels in accordance to what is being said, as well as the lighting, I think the thing that gives that scene the life and the air in my lungs that I always look back on is the basic inward fold that Josh O'Connor gives as he is both saying to Judd or to Blanc, but also to God and himself that he's sorry and he's just at a loss, like he doesn't know what to do, and he has just witnessed something that he has no real wherewithal as to explaining, and it's just this helpless fucking like plea for help. Um, it's exceptionally done. I think like people who don't like that movie are soulless.
There are, like, 3 jokes, maybe 3 scenes you can cut out of that movie, and it's the best movie ever made. Like, I'm being so serious.
Yeah,
It is
yeah, yeah.
it has the components it exists already as a phenomenal film, but it has the
Mhm.
components to I will say that there is a scene from the movie that is on my list. I'm not gonna say where or what, but what I will say is so many
I
options.
agree.
I will just leave it there, so many
I
options.
agree. I agree. Well, hey, shit, I'm leaving it there. That's all you now. If I start talking about it more, I'm gonna cry.
11, you're not including this one, you already said. And I actually kind of agree with you because it was really hard for me to pick a standout scene, but I did want to include it because I think in my brain, I think about this moment a lot.
Uh-huh.
Sentimental Value, the scene where she drops out of his film. Elle Fanning going to Stellan
Oh
Skarsgård.
my god.
Yeah, and it's kind of higher, or I guess lower retrospectively. For those who haven't watched the previous episode, Cinema Valley is my second favorite movie of the year. So it not being super high on the list is kind of indicative of okay, like this isn't just a mirror of our favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
which I think we haven't made clear yet. If you haven't watched the previous episode, you might be like, "What's the point of this?" If you're just gonna talk about your favorite movies of the year.
Yeah. Go watch the previous episode.
You'll see more clarity, but I promise you there are scenes that are not
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Final Destination was not even in my top 25.
Yeah.
I'll say that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But
Spoiler alert.
um, that being said, I think the scene where Elle Fanning's character goes and has to drop out of Stellan Skarsgård's film towards the tail end of the movie
Mhm.
is just so simple. I mean, the whole movie is just very simple and works so effectively in such quiet but delicate moments.
Mhm.
But that moment, especially, like, I don't know, I guess the specific thing I would tie back to that scene was just the hug they give each other. Just he's like, "It's okay. Like, I get it. Like, you don't have to, like, be upset with yourself." Like, this it's just it's such a warm moment, but I think it means so much more
Mhm.
because it's almost like this dynamic that he doesn't have with his own daughters,
Yeah.
that he's able to have with Elle Fanning's character, and just, like, the support that he gives and the, "Don't be
Yeah.
ashamed or, upset with yourself, but, like,
Mhm.
like, there'll be a time where it comes along and it'll be better."
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that movie is terrific. I mean, there's so many moments where I could think and truthfully, actually, maybe I'm biting my own words because at first I was actually gonna say the ending to the movie, and exclude
Mhm.
it, but I was like, "Is there any way I can find a workaround?" Because I don't wanna exclude my 2nd favorite movie of the year
That's a
from
good
being
point.
on this list, but I do think I like that scene equally. I There's a ton of moments I think about, but especially just that hug, man. It's just such a good hug.
That's crazy. I didn't even think I don't even remember that scene. I know now off of you talking about it, but man, what a choice. That certainly is inspired. Talk about inspiration.
Jesus Christ.
I'm claiming this next movie. There's no realm in reality where you ever pick it.
Why are
So
you claiming it
uh,
then?
because I really like truthfully, if I didn't claim Wake Up Dead Man because I'm okay with you having that, I really this is gonna be my slutty pick. This is gonna be off of this scene alone, this is going to be my gluttonous pick.
Sure.
Um, and it's a scene we don't talk about. It's a scene in a movie we don't talk about outside of like, dude, I haven't thought about this movie once. I'm like, okay. It is the scene where they are Um, at the dinner in FNAF 2. No, I'm just kidding. Um, it's the scene the Shadow Bunny thing fucking I don't think I'm uploading this episode anymore, actually. Um, it's the scene in Tinsman Road where they're in her bedroom, and it's him and the older woman that he befriends at, like, the diner,
Oh, he's shoddy.
and and there's kind of been, like, a pointer like that I'm kind of cheating by saying this. That is the actual scene, and I've been holding to say it till now. That is the whole reason why I've been pushing to do this podcast, the reason why I've been doing it, and the way like, for this episode specifically, because I knew your ass wasn't thinking about this scene at all, a lick. But I think about the scene quite literally almost, like, every other day.
Oh,
I think it is, like, to me, quietly the most heartbreaking moment as this adult who is estranged from his mother is in the disappearing sister's room as they're sort of talking very cryptically and ominously about like what she was like, and this woman is clearly like not fully gelling with the fact that she's in a disappearing girl's room with a guy she doesn't even fully know too well, and the pieces just aren't there and they don't fit right, and there is just this insane level of heartbreak that permeates that entire moment that I think, like, again, no one's really even seen Tinsman Road, and that kinda breaks my heart. Um, I think I've thought about that scene so much, and in fact, it's been, like, a big inspiration for, like, the kinda stuff that I wanna make on a visual level, but also with the undertone of emotion that comes with it. Um, so that'll be my 2nd claim and my 10th favorite scene of the year.
I'm pissed off. That was my movie. N Number 10, I'm gonna claim it because I need to start claiming stuff, but also because it's a phenomenal scene. Um, let me tell you my side from Frankenstein. Yeah. Yeah. Essentially, the start of chapter 2 from Frankenstein,
Uh-huh.
when the monster comes into that bitch and he can talk like a man and
Fuck,
he's like,
fuck.
let me
I'm
tell
standing.
you
I'm
my
standing.
side. Let me tell you
I'm
my
standing for
side.
this. I'm standing.
There's a lot of great scenes in that movie. I love that movie to death. We both love it. And that's kind of why I'm claiming because I know that you love it, so I'm not wouldn't be shocked if there's something later in the list for
Mhm.
you. That
Mhm.
scene specifically just kind of another just electric moment. We
Sure.
looked at each other, we were like, "Fuck yeah!" Like we're so fucking back. It was
Yeah.
properly paced. It was properly, the tension was rising, and his reveal that he can talk normal. And as someone who didn't read the book, who that probably is in the book, and that's probably not the craziest shit ever. I
Mhm.
was fucking on cloud nine.
Okay.
Yeah, I a lot of great scenes in
Okay.
that movie, but that was just most electric moment.
Dare I say I'm gonna electrify it even more? There's not a single Frankenstein scene in this list at all.
Good.
Um, I wanted to. I really, really wanted to. In fact, that is number I believe 23. Um, I really reckoned with it, and again, it's took me a long time. So walk with me real quick. So we had I've you have one claim,
We both have 2
two
claims.
claims.
My claims thus far
Hmm.
are the sandwich scene from Sorry Baby,
Hmm.
and then technically the introduction of chapter 2 in Frankenstein.
And my claims are Tinsman Road and 28 Years Later. Okay. So I I'm promising you I'm not blowing my load, but I'm gonna be claiming another movie. And again, as I really wanted you to remember the length of your hospital fuck shit scene in Final Destination, and I'm standing assuredly on this. My number 9 is Alex's segment in Weapons. And if you really want me to be a
You're
little
so
eh,
dumb that of course does not count. It's not a fucking scene.
don't care. You're
Then
talking
specify.
okay,
You can claim it,
then
just specify it.
I will stop it quite literally at the moment she rings the bell to bring the kids in.
What does that mean?
So the moment it starts from Alex's perspective, like the text says Alex, then you watch his stuff right up until it gets to the point where you clearly understand, oh, okay, she is like the witch and she rings the bell. That's like 10 to 12 minutes.
That's not a scene, Liz. Like you understand, like you know what a scene like that is not a scene. That is like legitimately there are scenes within that sequence. You can call it a sequence. You can call it it's called a chapter.
Yeah, but I'm not taking the whole chapter.
But that's you were
So then what do
quietly.
you take? Because in that hospital bit, that is a segment of the movie where it cuts to different scenes in the film. You're talking about the hospital
But
scene.
there was quite literally different settings and different characters in each of like in multiple parts of that Alex. Like at least within the Final Destination one, it's mainly the two or same 2 or 3 characters. It's the 2 brothers.
That's not true. There's all of them are literally in it. Literally every player in that movie is
Sure,
in
but
that
they're
bit.
all a part of like the whole execution going on with the whole thing. Like he has a conversation in the car with his dad, and then he gets home from school with his
But it's
mom and
all
his dad,
him.
and then he goes back to
But
school.
it's literally Alex. Like it's entirely Alex. And I'm giving you
You
10.
know you're pussyfooting right now. There's
That's not
no
true.
fucking way.
Because if you're I would agree with you if you weren't including the Final Destination scene. Because that scene is even longer and it has every character
I don't
in
even think
it.
that's true. I don't think it's longer.
I
The
I
what from what
if
I
I'm
can say,
specifying, there's like 10 to 12 minutes because if I'm saying the Alex segment, technically it doesn't it like literally goes to the ending of the movie. That's like
sure.
35 minutes. But I'm literally only cutting like giving it like the 10 to 12 minutes that there is. Maybe it's like 13, but it
I,
is I'm taking it. I'm taking it and I'm claiming it. It has Alex throughout the entire thing, throughout the entire bit. I'm claiming it. I think it's fantastic. I don't think there's anything in the movie before. Oh well, no, I don't have anything else from there here. Um, I'm claiming it. I think the single shot of him alone trying to open the can of soup is, again, to me, a bit that no one talks about, and maybe it's because of the life that I had growing up in a lot of ways, and those kind of mom that I was raised with. But like that shit fucking broke me, and it got me the first time, the second, and the third time. And his performance is just so great, even though like it relies so heavily on just his reaction and his inability to do anything in this but be the servant to, Amy Madigan's character. I don't care. I think it's exceptional, and it's the thing that, like, ties the movie together for me, quite literally, I think that's the way that Zach Krager wrote it, and in a chapter book style way akin to, like, a Magnolia, that bit in the movie is just my favorite. I don't care how pissed you get, I'm taking it.
That's like objectively wrong and dumb. Number 9, I can't talk about too much because from a movie you haven't seen. It's from Resurrection.
Okay.
For the audience members that are watching that have seen it or what you can look back upon, it's a scene where karaoke is done. Um,
Okay.
I won't say more than that, but it's the karaoke scene in Resurrection. If you know, you know.
Okay. At my number 8, um, I guess, actually, coincidentally, same rules apply. It is, a party scene in Castration Movie Part 2
Fire.
that does all I'll say is it does the twinless shot, that's, like, a shot that's been done rarely, but before, um, and it's funny enough, the introduction to an actor that I kind of like, hate, but is fantastic in this movie, Ivy Walk, um I think, like, to me, it is funny, like, the movie is next to a no-budget film, but it, without question, is the thing that I think is pushing filmmaking to its absolute limits, and it really stays on it. Um, so I guess, like, I will take and again, like, we're also talking about a movie that has 30 to 45-minute oneers, but yeah, I just, like it is 2 shots happening simultaneously at once for your eyes to not even fully comprehend, and it's just like it's overwhelming, it's claustrophobic, it's terrifying, it's wonderful.
Mm.
That's my number 8.
My number eight's also boring because it's from another movie you haven't seen, which
Oh,
I can't say too much about.
oh,
But
oh,
without giving too much away, it's from the movie Predators.
fuck. That high?
The sequence, I'm just gonna call it, is Skeet.
Sk
Yeah. And I will just say it is the most soul crushing and like baffling thing I've seen all year. Like it's fucking mind boggling how this exists and how
Okay.
it is portrayed, and yeah, it's
I
fucked.
have a question though,
Yeah.
because when you saw it at, like, a theater in LA, correct?
Yeah. I saw it at the LMO.
Because you had, like, time to kill or something, or, like,
Yes.
was that, like, the when you finished the movie, you that scene was like, "Holy shit," or was it more when you were like, combing through this list, or was it when the concept of us making this video came up?
I think it very much was after I stumbled out of the movie, I was like, that moment is crazy.
Because you never brought that up to me.
No, I haven't. But in reflection of this list, when I was thinking about that movie
Yeah.
more, yeah,
Mhm.
I think I've brought it up to someone else,
'Cause
just
I
in
didn't even
conversation.
you talked to me about it today, like,
Yeah.
and I literally have the file to watch the movie. I don't know how I won't love the movie given its approach, but
Yeah, no, there's a specific sequence, and I'm not talking about if you've seen the movie, it's not the entire, I guess, like, subplot involving this skeet thing that I'm
mhm,
referencing,
mhm,
but rather a certain person
mhm,
who is emotionally vulnerable
mhm,
and expressing plight,
'kay.
and the way that devolves in the film. I don't wanna give too much away, but
Well,
that's the best I can do while vaguely saying it, and
okay.
it's crushing.
I mean, you incited me to watch it, so I'll report back. Um, okay, so we're getting close to top 5 territory, friends.
True.
But before we do so, at my number 7, you alluded to it, I'm claiming it. It's the drum scene in Life of Chuck.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, and it's funny because, like, we were just today shout out our friend Austin if you're listening to this.
Shout to Austin.
What a great day we had with you, friend, but there's this really weird perception of Mike Flanagan, and I'm not saying that this movie does that any favors, to be honest, because if you there's a lot of people that just don't really jive with the way he tells horror, but I can tell you with 100% assurity that, like, the way he does horror is the way he does movies because it's the same way he does with this, and I think it is always he knows what the crux of his emotion is when he's saying and doing these things, and it's just genuinely, like, the most beautiful thing. Again, I talked about it in my best of the year video, please check that out. When it match cuts to a flashback, it's just, oh my fucking god, and, like, it sounds great. Again, you take issue with the way that the movie's shot, and again, in the grand pantheon of his stuff, I agree it's not nearly as good, but, like, Jesus, I think everything it's lit so bright and vibrantly. It is just pure cinematic euphoria personified, and I'm claiming it. It's a film that for as much as I talk about, I need to rewatch the damn thing. I
Yeah.
think about it so routinely, and I wish it was a little higher, but there is 6 scenes that I prefer more, but I'm claiming it.
And out of curiosity, if you're claiming for you personally, if you're claiming a scene from a movie, are you claiming the movie like, are you not gonna bring up that movie further, or are you literally just only claiming, like, that scene, if that makes sense? I only ask that because
Mhm.
my question be, I'm shocked it's not the Matthew Lillard scene.
No. Well, I'll tell you, I think the drum scene is more impactful for me.
Mm,
There's no more, um sorry, Life of Chuck, I
yeah.
spaced. There's no more Life of Chuck coming up.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the Matthew Lillard scene is not even on this list that's at, like, at 40. Um, I
Really?
thought about it. I definitely thought about it. Um, Maybe it's because, like, I don't I 'cause, like, you bring that up in, like, the scene with, like, David Dastmalchian, but I guess maybe to me, my love for that scene comes in the fact that I have never seen that side of Matthew Lillard up until that point.
Sure.
Again, I saw SLC Punk, fantastic, fantastic, but that just hit because I was shocked that he could bring it.
Mm.
Maybe on a rewatch it would be, but I think everything I love about Life of Chuck exists in those, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you didn't even
Um,
bring up Tom Hiddleston, who is phenomenal in that
so
scene,
good,
and
so good.
it was marketed as, like, Tom Hiddleston-led movie, and if you've seen it,
No,
you
it's
know
not.
it's not that.
Jacob Tremblay.
But he is terrific in that scene, I agree.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
My number 7
Mhm.
my number 7 is I can't claim it because you already did. 28 years later, The March, when they're leaving base for the first time, and it's intercutting
Whoa.
the crazy, like, soldier
Boots?
footage.
Boots? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, there's a lot of options in this movie. There's a lot of fucking options, and I
Mhm.
was very much going through what I was trying to do. Couple moments I was like, "Fuck, should I include this?" But they're so short, they're so small.
Yeah.
Shout out to the train sequence, big fan of that sequence,
Mm.
when he pops
Mm.
down and the cameras go all around him, and
Yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah, that scene's awesome. But, no, the one
Great
I
choice.
chose was the march sequence. I think it just is emblematic of what Danny Boyle does best, which is just
Mhm.
great editing, stylistic and experimental visuals,
Mhm.
and the Young Father score. It's just ripping. It's ripping. It's electronic. It's industrial.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
Mhm.
I remember us watching that for the first time in theaters, and we kept on glancing because we knew we're in a different realm right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It was vibrant. It was electric, and a lot of these best scenes are moments that got us going because I think that's when movies work best for us as like a communal space is
Mhm.
whenever a scene can really just invigorate us and we're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, like I'm excited, like let's get excited about this together. Let's show it. Like we're
Mhm.
both kind of geeking out a little bit. So yeah, shout out to 28 years later and that sequence especially.
I look back on that too. Again, I'm not trying to air out too much personal stuff here, but that is the last movie that we saw as the quad. Like, even technically with our friend James, but, like,
Yeah,
I think one thing I really do miss because everything now is just so busy with schedules and whatnot, is I miss going to see movies with friends, you know?
very much so.
I got you, and I'm indebted, and I'm eternally grateful, but, oh, shout out to our friends Mads and Zakai, like, and we're all so different, so it was, like,
True.
kind of a rarity to have a film where we were succinct and in the love, and for vastly different reasons, and we all came out of that movie, like, in just fucking shock. Even James loved the fucking movie.
Shout out to James.
So, shouting out a lot of our friends, I look back on that movie for a plethora of reasons, that being one of them. Um, so, okay, we're about to hit top 5, I promise, don't worry.
We are.
This scene this scene makes me actually really sad that it's not higher. And I don't even know if it's even in this in y what's actually funny, because we've talked about this, and I'm like,
Talk to me.
"Huh, I don't think this is on your list, but if it is, you will shock me." Um, it's a scene from the movie that I did not think much of when I watched it, but it is the scene that, like, if it wasn't for 1 or 2 more of these scenes coming up, sorry, I think it might be the most heartbroken I felt watching a movie. It is when Channing Tatum gets arrested in Roof Man. That scene, oh no, you're looking at me with
Wait, did you claim it? I'm sorry you see didn't
no.
okay.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
No, I didn't know if I had to keep track of your
Oh,
claims.
okay.
You're
No,
good,
I'm
you're
not
good.
claiming it. I'm not claiming it. I could not possibly put into words because I don't even know if it's a script thing. I don't know. I and it's like to me a miracle moment in the movie that is not like frankly it is if you took the shot that happens as Channing Tatum realizing that he's at the end of the rope of playing two several different lives and trying to hide in anonymity is gluttonously and selfishly going back, knowing that he shouldn't, to Kirsten Dunst's place to go have one more moment to squeeze one more drop out of this fiction with Kirsten Dunst and her daughters. Again, if you didn't have the shot of the balloon going in the air,
Mhm.
nothing about the scene would change. But its inclusion adds everything to the scene. And to me, because it's him getting taken down by the cops, the cut of the Kirsten Dunst, and then the balloon. And that thing to me has haunted me in so many different forms. It to me, you need to watch this movie. The way that Derek Cianfrance has such a novel such a great in when it comes to middle America and the weight of aspirations crushing down onto reality. That movie is so fucking good, and it has no right executing a side romance in that film, whether it is the performers involved or the writing. I've thought about that movie way more than I think most people have, and it breaks my heart that it's at number 6, but there it is.
Great film. Great
Great
little
fucking
film.
movie.
Great moment too. Number 6, I can't claim it, you already claimed it. Weapons, but my specific sequence is when the way I labeled it was the quote, "And then you'll go home." When he's having the last little interaction with Aunt Gladys where she presents the idea of, "I need an article of clothing or whatever from each of your classmates." And it's the
Wow.
last sequence when he goes into the room and she looks fucked up and she's close to death and she's like, "I need you to do something for me." And he's so convinced by this lie, this wool that she's spinning, that if he just does this one thing, if he gets in on the act, if he gets in on
Mhm,
helping her with her plan,
mhm,
that this will all just go away. It's naive.
mhm,
It's, it's just so it's such a simple
mhm.
interaction, but I also want to include it because I think it really I remember coming out of the movie and telling you this. It really is what sells me on Amy Madigan's performance
Yeah,
as Aunt Gladys.
yeah,
It's such a extroverted and out there performance. She's very loud, she's very vibrant. She's a lot of fun. Very much like a
mhm,
character actor. But that is a moment that's so much more quiet, and there's like this reaction that she gives in response
mm,
to that
mm,
question,
mhm.
where you can't really tell if it's she's sympathetic because he's being so naive, or she's like smiling because he is naive and
Yeah,
she's taking advantage.
yeah,
It's sinister, but also weirdly, like, sympathy driven. I don't
mhm.
know, it's
Like, it's like, "Oh, that's so cute of you to think
yeah,
that."
and there's so many ways you can read it, but it's
Mhm.
what really sells me on her performance, and especially now that she's getting so much love, and I think after this comes out, we'll know if she's an no, before this comes out,
Yeah.
we'll know if she's an,
No, quite literally.
Oscars winner or not, but
And that's gonna stir up the worst sort of discourse.
100%, but I do think that performance very much
Good
is, like,
choice.
supplanting of the movie, and I think
Good
that
fucking choice.
like you said prior, the kid I forgot the actor's name, but the kid
I
who
don't
plays
remember his name. Yeah.
Alex, terrific child performance. Maybe the best child performance of last year? Can we agree on that? I can't actually, no, the little fucker from Hamnet. The little
Yeah,
fucker,
yeah.
yeah, he's unfortunately too
"Sister,
good.
take I will take your sickness."
I
Shut
wanna
up, bro,
I'm
like
gonna pinch his cheeks.
yeah, yeah, his nice little peachy cheeks.
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. At number 5, You'll Be Mad. Again, we read the assignment a bit different. I'm going with Isla's Spike's mom's death in 28 Years Later. And
What are they differently?
huh?
Why would I be mad about
Well,
that?
just because I'm repeating. And that
Oh.
like frankly, if 28 Years didn't come out, I probably wouldn't have done that role. But my list would be so much more boring if it didn't,
Sure.
because and like you've been my therapist throughout it all. Like there is scenes in that fucking movie that yeah. It just I can't do it. I cannot do it. And I think it's the goal for Alex Garland as a screenwriter to come into the back end of that movie and just fucking destroy you. And I think it's just like when a movie does things right, we often don't take into account what it is doing it within. And the fact that this movie is not even pushing an hour and 50 and it is a horror film, it is an action film, but it is also a deep drama and a meditation on death being a part of the process of life and living, and the forgiveness that comes with it, and the music, man, oh my, and then, like, the cross dissolve of Spike's eye, and then the spiral of Kelson's graveyard, the bone temple, and it's just, and then, like, again, the scene that I'm gonna get it tattooed on this shot as he places her skull atop the mountain.
Fire.
It's amazing. What else can I say?
Yeah, thank you, Danny Boyle, thank you, Alex Garland.
Thank you, thank you.
Um, okay, let's do it. Number 5. Wait, actually, real quick before I do that, can you remind me what you claimed thus far?
Yeah, so I have claimed Tinsman Road,
Yeah,
20 Years Later,
yes.
Weapons, and Life of Chuck.
Okay. Okay, I think I have some room to wiggle, so I won't claim this, but
Okay.
definitely won't be in your list.
Oh god.
But I referenced it a couple times to you
Okay.
today. The Naked Gun, the dash cam
Oh my
sequence.
fucking god!
Yeah,
Oh
very
my
high,
fucking
very, very
god!
high, and that's why I kind of brought up earlier the fact that if you watch our 24 or our ranking video of the best of last year for just films,
Uh-huh.
you would be a very different list because the Naked Gun wasn't even mentioned on my honorable mentions.
No.
I do like that movie a lot. It's a very good movie. The dash cam sequence, the dash cam scene, the footage, whatever you want to call
Mhm.
it, the hardest I've laughed in a very long time in a movie theater.
Oh my god.
You and I cried so hard, and it's so
Uh-huh.
many aspects, and we're so dumb. Like you and I are children
Mhm.
because all it takes is a dash cam corner where he
Mhm.
looks stupid at being in his police car, of
Yeah.
him eating chili cheese
Yeah.
dogs,
Big time.
of fart sound effect noises, of him walking to the restroom, pulling out his gun, shooting it to empty out the restroom because he has to go so bad. Him getting back in the car and him being like, "Don't you eat another one. Don't you eat another one." And then he's like, what does he say? He's like, "You've been weak since you've sucked on, like, the teat of your mother." Like, it's just like there's just so many quotables, there's so many funny visual gags.
Oh
It
my
is
god.
working on a level. Liam
Oh
Neeson
my
is so
god.
fucking
Oh my
phenomenal.
god.
It's the whole aspect of just everyone still watching, like, "Why are you still watching? Just skip past it," and they just keep
Oh
playing
my
it.
god.
Yeah, that
Oh my
as
god.
much as I wanna give you guys, like, high art and talk about these
Oh
scenes
my
that are all,
god.
like, critically acclaimed, like, I cannot denounce how funny that
Oh.
fucking scene is.
Oh, that's evil.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of last year watching in the theater, and I would
Mm.
be dismissive if I didn't include it for sure in my top 5 scenes. It is quite like, it's the scene I think about so much, especially for that movie, but just when I
Mhm.
think about what makes me laugh in a movie, I
Mhm.
fucking love it. I love that scene so much.
Okay. At my number 4 is unfortunately a scene that I can't talk about too much, but it comes from the documentary that I hope one day you watch,
Mm.
called Kingdom of Tea and Strangers. And it is a scene involving them just recording what I assume at the time was just B-roll footage of this little commune of people at a place called Labrie, as they are kind of just playing, like, games outside and playing charades, or the kids are running with, like, bubble guns and stuff, and they're just having fun, and then someone just gets up and, like, snaps their fingers, goes inside the home, and opens up the piano and immediately starts playing one key, and the camera's still fixed outside, and it's like you can tell that it is like locked on a dolly or a tripod or something, and it like looks like it's getting dismounted, and you can like quite literally the kids are climbing in through the window. They're all running in because they know what's happening, and you have no idea what's going on. And what follows is basically they then all start singing a song at different levels. The kids start chiming in, and to me, it is one of the very few examples of a movie that feels like what it captures, like in my head of what I was taught heaven is like. Um,
Mm.
and it's the only time you ever see either of the people who are the documentarians in the film directly. It is the suddenness of it all. It is a thing that, like, unbelievably transfixed me. Again, I can't talk too much about it. I hope one day you watch it. That is my number 4.
It sounds beautiful, though you have a great way of describing it 'cause now I'm like, "Fuck, I have to watch this now." Actually, it
Why,
sounds
thank you.
gorgeous.
Why, thank you.
The most accurate depiction of what heaven looks like, fuck yeah. Number 4, I'm gonna claim it,
Okay.
um,
Uh-huh.
just because I need to start claiming stuff. I have 3 spots left.
Uh-huh.
Mario Supreme, the honey scene. It is just
Oh my god.
it is just a terrific sequence.
Oh
I
my
cannot deny the
oh my
one oh
god.
Tricks Point Never score swelling with the piano keys.
Oh my
This
god.
the weirdly enough, the lack of people that acknowledge what that scene means and how it kind of just defines what Mario Supreme is as a movie and what it represents and like the thematic centerpiece of it all, how visually weird it is, how kind of funnily out of place but also perfectly in place it is,
Yeah.
the way the story is presented, the way it's paced, and like I said, that one up Tricks Point Never score is so phenomenal, and then how that immediately fades into him going to her hotel room.
Oh my
It
god.
is impeccable.
Oh,
Like, I people might clown the scene because it's kinda wild, the licking off the honey of the body or whatever, but
oh my god.
it's weirdly so beautiful and dark and just amazing. I
Oh my
am
god.
glad how Mars Scream is how it is, as it currently is, but there was something weirdly like, "Holy shit, what are we getting?" when that scene came on in that theater,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Is this gonna be some, like, crazy, surrealist, like, non-literal thing?" And it wasn't that, and I'm not saying it had to be that, but I will say, like, that
Yeah.
honey scene was so good that I thought the Safdies broke code for a
Hmm.
second.
I mean, you talk about breaking code, you just broke my code because 'cause I'm like, that might be the only movie that I fucked up on because I excluded the ending, fuck.
Yeah,
But you saying that made me think of the scene where he calls her and he's like, "Look out the window."
yeah.
That would've sorry, guys. I
Sorry.
sh let's
We're human.
or
We're
yeah, I'm
human.
only human. That would've been on him throwing the apple, I think is just like, how do you come up with that?
It's awesome.
Fuck. No, okay, I make no bones about it. Make no bones about it. That's okay. That's okay. At number 3 at number 3, you would think it'd be number 1, but it's my number 3. It's the phone call scene in Wake Up Dead Man.
Okay.
Um, I was certain until 48 hours ago that that was my number 1. Like, well, I guess let me take it a step back. For a while, it was the certainty that that was going to be the scene of the year, and to this day, in many respects, it is. I think the way this motherfucker has an ability at just stopping that fucking movie and its pace, and it's funny. It's so funny, and I don't think I've ever told you this story. There was like an interview that he'd had Ryan Johnson, the director and writer of the film, and he was like, the interviewer asked like, with a movie this weighty about religion, spirituality, you being a raised Christian now turned agnostic, how was it? How difficult was it? And writing this, and he was like, it was impossible. There was days where I was like, I don't think I could ever do this. I don't think I can do this. But he said it wasn't until I wrote a scene that it all made sense. And then when she asked which one it was, he said it was that one,
Mm.
and it makes total sense. I mean, like
Yeah, you can
you,
see it in the film.
you come if you make that, that is the seed that is going to sprout the tree, and the movie stops. Quite literally, it is Ryan Johnson reaching through time, Joe Colley, and fucking saying, "Give me 1 second here." And Josh O'Connor, the way that it's lit, and I think it is made. It is my letterbox backdrop. The cut back to the broken statue of Jesus, to me, I think is the best cutaway in a movie from last year. It
Mm,
is unfucking real.
mm,
Daniel Craig, and seeing like his quiet impatience starting to boil. But the moment he opens that door and the moment the camera pushes in as you are Benoit Blanc, you see exactly why the wait was worth it. Even though you wait like 30 seconds in the movie.
mm.
Just Jesus fucking Christ. And the performer who is playing the woman that is asking for prayers, who the fuck are you?
Come on the podcast.
Come on the fucking pod. You, Luis Guzman, Peter Stormare, and Connor O'Malley all doing like a four stack. Okay? Anyway. That is
Dak
my number 3.
Dak Shepard too.
Oh, he's taking over for us.
Number
Uh,
3,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
I am claiming
Oh,
no,
oh,
actually, I won't claim it. Fuck, wait, fuck.
I know this is hard, dude. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
You have 1 spot left.
I know, and I kinda screwed myself, but I'll describe that later.
Okay. Number 3,
Uh-huh,
I'll claim it
uh-huh.
because I think if one of us don't, the audience will be mad. It
Okay.
is my number 3, I don't mind it at all. Yeah, I think yeah, I'll tell you why, my reasoning. My 3rd claim and my 3rd favorite scene of the year. Sorry, my 4th favorite scene of the year. Fuck. My 4th claim, my 3rd favorite movie of the
Got it.
yeah, you
Yeah,
got it,
yeah, I'm
you got
tracking
it.
with you, I'm tracking.
Whatever. Sinners, the obvious one. Somebody take me. Come on. Come on.
Really?
Yeah, come on. I mean, the expansion of the aspect ratio,
Oh,
the different music genres and styles
I'm standing up. I'm standing up.
throughout the generations, the one take sequence, the energy to it all, the roof ripping off and fire. It's I mean, there's a reason everyone talks about that scene. We
Sure,
all talk
sure.
about that scene. We all felt that scene. It's the easiest pick, but I cannot deny
Oh
it's a
my
scene
god.
so good that I'm gonna put myself in the cross right now. It kind of hog it kind of hogwashes the rest of the movie. It kinda the scene it's so good that it makes the movie a great film into a barn burner. It quietly
It burned
burns
the
down
barn.
it burns the
Yeah,
barn
oh,
and
damn.
yeah, I have
That's
no qualms about it. Everyone
crazy.
said a million things about it. It is just it is filmmaking at its best. It is blockbuster filmmaking at its best. It
Mhm,
is cultural filmmaking at its best. It is
mhm,
Ryan Coogler at his best.
mhm,
It is just every element at its best, and
mhm.
I cannot say enough good words about it. I think it's so adventurous. I think it's such a crazy experiment to do. I think it's just such a swing, but it executes it in a way that I've never seen a different film do before. And I usually the aspect ratio increasing shit can bother me. You can do it in Mommy, but you can
Oh,
do it
good
you
good
can
good
do it in
rain.
Mommy, but the only other time I'll allow it is you can do it in Sinners, and they do it phenomenally. And if you were not able to catch Sinners in 70 millimeter
Mm,
IMAX, and you were able to, not saying like
mhm,
you live far away, like if you were within driving distance, you have the financial means, you
mhm,
had the time, and you didn't do it,
uh-huh.
I hope that haunts you every night before you sleep.
And you might be curious as to why I'm sounding so shocked, given that that may be will wind up being the scene that everyone talks about when the year is said and done. But because I think we've more so like focused on other movies, A, but B, the sort of hogwash notion, especially for you about like that it, like, blows its load, sort of,
Sure.
right? And, like, that has been seen in the conversation as, like, a movie that just doesn't necessarily work for you nearly as much. So
Yeah.
I think in that idea, I forgot that you love that scene as much as you do, to let alone put it in your top fucking 3. Like, that scene isn't even in my list.
I know, and that's
That's
crazy because that is the Sinners scene. That is probably what a lot of people will consider the scene of the year, and it's probably gonna be the fucking clip show for, like, every Oscars
that's
clip
so
it wins.
crazy. That's good rain, man, good rain. Great top 3 so far. My number 2,
Your final claim, or are you saving it?
I fucked up because okay, I'll just tell you this. Let me finish
Okay.
my 2 and my 1, and
I
then
I will give you because I think it's more fun if we each have 5 claims, I will let you bypass roll for either 1 or 2 d no matter what the rule is, no matter how
thank
you
you.
broke
Okay,
it.
okay, thank you, because I did mess up, but my number 2, ironically, a movie we bled dry. We have not talked about the scene at all, and this is where you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I don't I'm, like, literally feeling palpitations saying this. My mom texting me is the reason why this scene is my number 2. My number 2 is the scene where Isla mistakes Spike as her
Oh
father.
my fucking god, this fucking movie.
Sorry. Um, I got a text from my mom, like, last week. I don't speak with my mom at all, like, I've got no contact with her,
Oh
at least
shit.
on my end, since
This is breaking news to me too, guys.
2016, 2017. And so, like, she just texts me periodically, like, she used to text me pictures of my dog when he was alive to coax me to come back, and it's been a thing that I've never really ever paid any mind to, and I still have yet to ever text her, and I never will. But she basically sent me a text, um, bringing up a memory that I had long since forgotten about a Christmas we had, and I have no recollection of it. And essentially, that has been keeping me in this thought bubble for a while about perception and parental figure dynamic relationships to children. And for some reason, it wasn't even like as I was looking at this list, it wasn't even like as I was assembling it. For some fucking reason, which I kind of think I know why, the moment that like she sent me that text within like that same hour, that scene for some reason of the two cuts, or the cut as you look at the UK in a beautiful picturesque state that then is directly cut into the decay and the rot that has happened amidst this virus outbreak, was the exact sort of summation of what I feel my mom's relationship is with me now. That she is holding on to this fabrication of what no longer is, and what exists now is the true decay and rot of it all. And again, I think ultimately I was like, no matter how much you laugh, no matter how much you roll your eyes, not saying that you did, but in my head going into this, I was like, Tyson might be mad that I'm including 28 years so often. Um, but like, how can, and again, I'm not
I
bringing up my mom
get
as the get out of
it.
jail free card,
I
right?
get
It's not like my
it.
puppy died, give me sympathy. But like, that movie in 100 minutes whips out its wiener and slaps my face 6 different times, and I like it more every single time.
And we haven't even brought up the arrow shots.
You know?
The
Nope.
tweak yet the iPhone camera rigs. Yeah, no, I
Nope.
mean,
Again,
at least it's
so
for a good movie. At least it's
right?
for a good
Like
movie.
Eddington, I'm bringing up like 6 different moments.
There's still one more spot left.
Um, but that is my number two.
Awesome. My number two and my final claim, and I could claim my number one. I really could, but I'm
Okay.
not going to because I'm
Okay.
going to be.
Okay.
I'll explain why. But my number two, my claim,
Okay.
and probably what you were expecting to be my number one.
Oh my. Okay.
I can't do her hair, man. One ball after another.
So true.
Um, we keep referencing our last episode. One
Yeah.
Battle After Another was my favorite movie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
There are 12 scenes I could have included in this list. I adore that movie so, so, so much. And it has so many memorable moments, whether they make me laugh,
Yeah.
they make me tear up,
Yeah.
they make me just visually marvel at what we're seeing. But it was between that one and there was also the option of when he's talking to Tiana Taylor's mother. And she basically says, "You're a run, or she's a runner, you're a stump.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are you gonna do for this baby?"
Mm-hmm.
That dialogue exchange stood out to me. But the reason I didn't include it or
Mm-hmm.
have that as my selection, it's a bit too short, a bit too brief. And although just because it's brief doesn't mean it can't be effective,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is something about the placement of the sequence when Bob Ferguson is talking with Sensei in the car on the way to go save his daughter, and they're
Oh
kind of
yeah.
having an what the way Sensei words it, or Benicio del Toro words it is, "Don't go dark on me, Bob. Don't go dark on me."
Mm-hmm.
Um, but basically, it's Leonardo DiCaprio's character reflecting on his experience as a single father, his experience of wanting
Mm-hmm.
Perfidia Beverly Hills, Tiana Taylor's character, to come back, and how he struggles to lead this life as a single father, but more importantly, and well, at least what I read it more as a father of a biracial child, specifically like a
Yeah.
black child.
Yeah.
And there's something like it's so simple, and maybe I can never wrap my head around it as a mixed white Latino dude, but there is
Yeah.
something so simple about hair types and how hair defines us as people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's no surprise most black people have more coiled hair,
Mm-hmm.
and it is by proof that like white people don't have that. Oftentimes, white people are chasing
Mm-hmm.
the cultural appropriation of having
Oh
black
yeah.
styled hair, um, whether it's whatever hairstyle. And there's something very simple about the concept of just that general racial divide that he will never have, and he doesn't have
Yeah.
a black figure in the house to
Sure.
guide his daughter, and how that doesn't exist in that household, and how that not only affects his daughter as a revolutionary, his
Mhm.
daughter as a someone who is gonna exist within this political sphere, but just as a Black woman.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it's so simple, yet so effective. And it's doing so much legwork in terms of building this relationship, building Bob Ferguson as a depthful character that isn't just a
Mhm.
joke. And it provides so much empathy. It's there's, like, this little, like, soft I don't even know if it's piano, it's like a
I was thinking
chord.
the same exact thing.
It's,
I
like,
don't even
very
remember.
light. I don't know if it's
I feel
John
it though.
Bryan.
Yeah.
It just feels so airy, but also just so tender.
Yeah.
The beautiful sun imagery on their faces
Mm.
as they drive through the car.
Mhm.
And Leo's performance in that movie is an interesting one because no one's gonna announce that's very good, and I think a lot of people are saying, "Well, it's not Oscar worthy," and I don't even know if I can disagree with that sentiment of it's not Oscar worthy, but it is small moments like that where you really need to be a talented actor and
Yeah,
an empathetic one to sell the moment,
I agree.
and god damn, man, it is his performance and the way his eyes well up when he says that that makes me
Mhm.
tear up. It gets me every time it honestly, I think the second time I watched it made me cry. Like,
Mm.
it is
Sure.
such an effective line and effective sequence of just him reflecting on being a single father, but especially, like, a white father of a biracial child.
Mhm.
It crushes me, and knowing that PTA is a white father of biracial children, it is just such an interesting way a filmmaker can portray his own kind of identity or
Yeah.
struggles into his own work that's so grandiose in scale.
Mhm.
Long way of me saying I love this movie,
Fuck
I
yeah.
love this scene, and it's one that has not left my psychosis since I've watched it since day one.
Yeah. What a crazy movie because I'm thinking like, what other bits would I include from the movie? And I think honestly, funny enough, the only other one that I would include, not to say that the other ones aren't exceptional, but it's
Sure.
like I think it, and you brought up specifically in terms of framing how it is a shot that is used several times in the movie, but it's the shot, and I could be wrong about the placement of the scene, but it's the overhead shot of Regina Hall as she then tells Willa who her mom really was.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a Dutch angle
Yeah,
looking.
and it that would be my other placement, again, 2 Regina Hall scenes, but Jesus Christ, what a fucking movie.
Yeah.
What a fucking
And
movie.
most people probably wouldn't even include dialogue, like, people would include the road chase sequence. Like, it's kind
Oh,
of,
oh, yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh,
adjacent
yeah.
to, like, the
Oh, yeah.
Shinger scene of the year, and a great sequence, obviously, I mean, phenomenal movie,
Mhm.
but, yeah, no, just the more emotional, quiet moments are what really stick out in my brain.
Next le I if yeah, I mean, even talking about it, I'm like, "No, yeah, I would love to rewatch it." Like, even that shit with, like, the guy who it's like, "Oh, this guy's sitting in a fucking container that has is wrapped, and he's got fucking jokes." Like, that
This guy got jokes. Uh,
crazy.
I just don't know if your sister will feel the same way.
Bro, and, like, even, like, the sound design where he, like, licks his lips, and you can tell that motherfucker's, like, dehydrated as
Yeah, he looks
balls.
dry.
But, okay, so I know where your number 1 is. I know what your number 1 is, I'm not gonna say it obviously.
Sure.
I know what your number 1 is, so then I'm gonna retract and claim Roofman then, because this last one is a movie you haven't seen, and I know I could break the rules, but I wanted to pick Roofman, but I was like, "No, no, no, I'll wait till one of the movies later in the list," but I realized either I picked it or, um,
You haven't seen it.
you
Alright,
haven't
sure.
seen it, or I thought you were gonna pick the scene that I think is your number 1, and you can claim that
What
movie.
I will say, we're both gonna have a very boring number 1 since you know mine, and I yeah, sure. We'll go on.
Yeah.
We'll
I
both boring
really
number
thought you
1.
were gonna throw in the Roofman scene, and I was gonna kill you, like, in a beautifully profound way, but I will describe my number 1 in a bit of a gluttonous way. Gluttony, I've said a lot today, I'm sorry. My number 1 comes from the first chapter of Castration movie, and particularly the whole reason why I think the movie works as this thus existing 10-hour epic, either as a horror movie or a film that makes me feel so vacant within my own self in a lot of ways. And it's a scene specifically that transpires where the lead character Traps is in an RV of a friend as they're purely just talking about life, about where they're at situationally, their financial struggles, their inability to be where they want to be as they're, like, eating pizza on the floor, as, like, there's, like, a box TV. Have you ever seen the clip of the guy and he's like, "You wanna listen to some tunes?" And he throws the, like, the cassette and the tape and he's, like, playing and I'm saying that to say
What?
he's like a YouTuber of sorts.
Sure.
His channel is, like, playing in the background, and it's a great scene. But in it, Traps gets a call, and I was describing to you a little bit of castration movie. The main other character in the segment that has traps is a character named Adeline, who is someone who is very afraid of what the next few months are going to look like for her and her partner, who is getting top surgery because she doesn't think that her job, who's being very transphobic since she has just recently come out as trans, asking to be referenced by a preferred name and pronouns, is going to keep her on and it's not floating the bills. And it's this scene where Traps is on the phone with Adeline and she can tell that she is really going through it and she's like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. And you can clearly tell it's not just talking about finances anymore, it's talking about life or death. And it's this anecdotal story that Traps brings up, as bless you, as Adeline is really freaking out. And it's inherently a really disgusting story about how when Traps met Adeline in high school for the first time before they had transitioned or come out, Traps could just tell that Adeline was very queer, very, very either not yet trans or in like being out yet, but they could tell. And basically, one night when they were sleeping over in high school, they wanted to start getting themselves prepared for transitioning. So they basically wound up doing joint douche sessions so they could train basically their asshole and like to get ready to yeah.
Awesome.
But basically they wound up giving each other enemas and they just basically were taking turns shitting in the toilet all night. And
Awesome.
and it's the way that as I'm describing it, it is frankly like one of the more disgusting stories I've ever heard. But the way it is described, the way that of course obviously you know, I know, and I hope the people listening know, anything that is shot on a camcorder, I'm going to immediately be having a strong proclivity towards. But it is all of that, and it's not even like she is saying this story laughing her ass off, but I think it is the idea of these people who have transitioned, but in many ways their life hasn't changed whatsoever in terms of the happiness they don't have compared to like when they were then. And it is a story that feels partially like a grasping of straws at anything, trying to make Adeline feel better. And again, to me, it's the crux of why this movie exists and works to the way it does. Because it really doesn't ever show that the other side of the rainbow is going to give you the answers. And it's like the scene that ever since I saw it 2 weeks ago, I've thought about it every single day. It's the whole reason why it is my number one favorite film of the year, on top of the other scene at the party in part two, and just all the two chapters combined. But like to write something like that and for it to work and hit as hard as it does, um, I just hope it's not as desperation filled as it is in that movie for me, and it is incredible. But that is my number one.
Awesome. I don't even want to repeat what you just said to me, but that is a crazy choice for number one. But I guess I have to see it to believe it. Um,
Yes. Drum roll,
my number
please.
one is boring. It's the phone call scene from Wake Up Dead Man.
Uh-huh.
Liz knew it.
Hmm.
I knew it as soon as I saw the movie. I guess it was the second time where it solidified it, but
Yeah.
they said it better than I ever could. It is I cry so
Yeah.
hard during that scene. It's such a beautiful moment. It is quite literally like it is the transitional period for or the transitional scene for that movie.
Yeah.
After that scene, there's such a different tone and feel, and
Yeah.
character motivations are so different going
Yeah.
forward. It is oh my god, I don't even wanna talk about it, I just wanna watch it. It yeah, the actress who plays the lady on the phone, and the reason I coulda claimed it because you didn't claim Wake Up Dead
No, I
Man.
do not.
I didn't claim it because it doesn't feel right to claim a scene that's both, like, in
Okay.
our top 3 as, "Oh, I get this one." Because we can both have it. I mean, we can both have it in our top 6, whatever. We can let's both
Wow.
be our number
Why,
6.
thank you.
But yeah, it's a Josh O'Connor, like I
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
fucking can't. It's just I don't know. I don't know. It's
Mhm.
I really hope those who do not enjoy Wake Up Dead Man as a whole film can at least acknowledge how brilliant that moment is and how well executed that moment is. And
Yeah.
you bring up that match cut, and it is, or not the match cut, but I guess the cut
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to the Jesus statue being fractured and just the patience it has, and the fact that he
Mhm.
takes time away and he's still on the phone, and
Mhm. Now let me ask you because I thought about this a lot where it's again, it's not a Lady in the Water like a line read
sure.
as we have where it was like, where the fuck was that for me when I first watched it? What were you feeling when you had first watched the movie when that scene came
I
on?
think I also cried.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
both times that movie real or that scene really hit home for me.
Mhm.
It's just I think it really is just the side actors. I think
Yeah.
if there's one thing that this year really has taught me to appreciate about these bigger films, it is these random side characters who
Mhm.
usually aren't even actors. They're usually just
Mhm.
like extras that they give a bit more screen time to, or like
Mhm.
non-actors or random people off the street.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't wanna denounce this lady's career if she's had can you look her up, please, so we can give her a
Yeah.
proper shout out? I don't wanna
Good
denounce this
point.
lady's career if she, has a formidable acting career, but she very much is the star of the show because her charm and desperation has to be authentic and beautiful enough for Josh O'Connor to pull from, and that scene
Mhm.
to transition as it does and for it to flow as it does.
Mhm.
She is so good, and between her and the One Bob and Another side actors or the Marty
Mhm.
Supreme side actors, like, this was a year for just
Mhm.
side characters in big films and getting people who don't conventionally act and just getting the best out of them because, man, like,
Agreed.
they really can make magic happen.
Her name is Bridget Everett.
Bridget Everett, you were
Mhm.
you were the reason you were the sole not the sole, but you were the biggest reason why my favorite scene of 2025 works as well as it does. Thank you for everything you put into your performance and the
Mhm.
art that you give, because you broke my heart in that scene,
Big time.
and that is
Big
the
time.
reason it is my number 1 scene of 2025.
I just wanna quickly double check to see if there's any scenes because
Quick question,
talk to me.
you didn't surprisingly bring up the prayer scene from Highest to Lowest. I was actually shocked that you didn't bring that up in your list.
Sure. So, I'll tell you, I'll tell you this.
Not an honorable mention.
So, like, we went from 20 down, so, like, 21 was the gun, dream, and weapons.
Okay.
Um, Is This Thing On argument scene was 24.
Had nothing from that movie.
VHS conjuring scene was 26, I think I said that.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, and it frustrates me, the only circumstance that pisses me off being in this apartment with your roommates, the twinless scene where he gets to pretend to be Rocky as Dylan O'Brien cries was when one of your roommates, like, came by and was, like, leaving, and I don't think you were able to fully enjoy it. That was one of the not to say that I think it would have been on your list, but that was up there, that's 27. Only thing from highest to lowest at 28, which was that the bag handoff sequence. Now that you bring that up, it probably would have been there. I don't think I would have put it above that whole scene, because those are, like, just 2 shots that I'm like, "Oh, fuck, that's amazing." I don't it's difficult. I would have to think. Funny enough, the Naked Gun hot dog bit, that's 30.
Yeah. Sorry. Love it
No,
too
no, no,
much.
please. One of the ones that I am sad didn't get enough love was the simple 10-second shot of Chris Sullivan by himself in the bedroom in Presence.
Mm.
Really, really wish that got more love.
I didn't include the ending to that movie, but the ending would have been one of my
The ending is the ending,
exclusions.
yeah. And then I put the Eddington store sequence.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um, Lowak about to kill himself in fire and ash. So awesome.
Okay.
Anything else? I just want to check. I, I will say maybe the only thing that could titillate you was there was a scene in J. Kelly that is so unbelievably good in that movie.
Yeah, the Billy Crudup scene.
No,
Oh, really? Okay.
no, no.
Okay.
But yeah,
Um, yeah, shout out to Caught by the Tides. Did not have a single scene on my list.
sure,
Shout
sure,
out to Is This Thing On? Didn't have a single
sure
thing on
as
my
well.
list. Damn I Love, same thing, like, phenomenal
Mm,
movies, all in my top
the
15.
dance that her with Nick Nolte, not Nick Nolte, maybe it's Nick Nolte. I think the dad,
Yeah,
I
in the
wish that was in
forest.
there, but no,
Yeah,
huh?
beyond that, I feel like I might be blanking on stuff, but of course, we're probably blanking on stuff.
Yeah,
Just a lot of great, great, great
agreed.
moments. And like you said earlier, we both had like 40 plus, so
Hmm.
we could have been talking all day about just things that we love about these specific movies.
Let me ask you this then, maybe to like wrap it up in terms of the present tense. Have we seen a movie this year that you think a scene could wind up being on the best of the year list?
Oh, like a movie that
2026.
oh, the already.
Yeah.
That's a crazy prompt. Give me 1 second
Don't
while
worry,
I
I'm
pull it
looking
up.
at it
No,
too.
you're good. A scene from a movie this year that we already can consider.
Ye-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, should we say what? Is that
I think we're gonna forget about it by the time we do it.
sure, I mean, t Return of Silent Hill, the bed monster scene, the ending to Nirvana the band, the show, the,
Okay.
uh, fucking Iron Lung when he turns into Jesus. It's fucking the Bone Temple music video sequence.
Fucked around and made a Muslim.
Fucked around and made a Muslim and good luck, have fun, don't
Some
die.
good shit, dude. Some good shit.
It's fucking The Bride, all of it.
Good answer. I'm
Um,
glad. I'm glad.
so our final drafts. What was your final draft so the audience can be aware?
Yeah, let's see if I can do it off of recollection. Weapons, 28 Years Later, Life of Chuck, Roofman.
And
What am I missing? Sorry. Dang it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I really thought I could do this off the dome. I apologize. Tinsman Road. Sorry.
there you go. And my five were Sorry Baby,
Mm-hmm.
Sinners,
Mm-hmm.
Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
Marty Supreme,
Enjoying custody with Wake of Dead Man.
and no, and One Battle After Another.
Bleh.
Yeah, no, I mean I won, but it's cool. And what I will say, it's all arbitrary and doesn't matter. However, man, what a good year. Well, this is kind of our probably our last video talking about
Mm-hmm.
2025, but I think
Mm-hmm.
going through and thinking about individual scenes that I loved, I really just want to jump back in
I
to
agree.
so many of the movies. Like the No Other Choice fighting for the gun sequence
Oh yeah.
was probably around gonna hit my honorable mentions. Phenomenal
I
scene.
agree. I
Phenomenal
agree.
scene, and just a phenomenal movie that I wanna rewatch. And there's stuff that I haven't seen yet, there's stuff that you haven't seen yet that we need to
Mm-hmm.
see.
Shit
Um,
out tomorrow. I'm watching Predators.
and I was the only one to bring up Five Nights at Freddy's 2 as an actual scene from this movie.
You're actually oh my god.
Sorry, I can't deny what I
That's
love.
so if I could pick like a schizophrenic like insert shot, Jesus Christ, like what am I even supposed to do with that information?
Watch it again.
Out the gate and then you punch me in my jugular for putting the segment with Alex in it. You're crazy. You're so crazy. But my friends, thank you so much for, as always, tagging along with us and giving us an incentive to be recording into 3 a.m. hours. It's just, it is unbelievable. And it's a small community that is growing little by little. And it means the world to us, even if it's an excuse at the end of the day for us just to get together. Expect just some fun coming down the pipeline, friends. It is a bit more of a looser structure than we've had like starting this podcast because technically and officially we ran through all the ideas we wanted to do. Now we just have a
Yeah, now we're
podcast.
living off the land.
But now I think it's time we just go dive into some movies that are coming out,
Very much so.
whatever that may be. I think it's apt that we do so. No longer are we going to be doing 2 hour videos. Don't get fucking used to it, bitches. Um,
Sorry, guys. I know that everyone loves to hear us talk that long, but it won't be a common occurrence, we promise.
Literally, my friends. But as always, please, thank you as all, each and every one of you so much for tagging along today. Email us in at beneflickspod@gmail.com, telling us your favorite scenes of the year, favorite movies of the year, your feelings, thoughts, anything and all. As always, in moderation, of course. Be respectful. And when they are not listening to our silky smooth voices, where can the fans find you, my friend?
Letterbox in the description. Please follow me.
Though, yeah, I guess he's no longer saying what it is. Shit, follow me in the description too, twins. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I'll catch you in the next one, friends.
Good night.
Peace out, friends.